Following the intense conclusion of the previous episode, House of David Season 2, Episode 4 focuses on the aftermath of Adriel's secret meeting with King Saul. Adriel, a cunning elder from the tribe of Judah, had promised Saul the identity of God's chosen king, an anointment made by the prophet Samuel. This episode unpacks the fallout from that encounter, exploring themes of deception, moral conflict, leadership, and fractured relationships. Adriel's deception, misleading the king. Adriel had claimed he would reveal the identity of Samuel's anointed successor to King Saul. Though viewers suspected deceit from the manipulative elder, it's confirmed mid-episode, Adriel deliberately misleads Saul. He points him to the wrong household in Bethlehem, thereby protecting David, the real chosen one. Initially, Saul seems convinced that David is the anointed king and sets a plan in motion to eliminate him. He calls on Joab, a trusted military commander from Bethlehem, and Eliab, David's older brother, to carry out the assassination. The show heightens the tension by suggesting Saul has learned the truth and is enlisting David's own brother for a fratricidal mission. However, it's revealed that the house Saul targets actually belongs to David's neighbor. Adriel gave Saul incorrect information, hoping to play both sides, earning Saul's forgiveness while gaining favor with David for future political advantage. Tragically, innocent people pay the price for this calculated deceit. Eliab's crisis of conscience. Eliab is unknowingly caught in this plan as he and Joab arrive at the supposed house of the Anointed One. They realize too late that it belongs to innocent civilians. Joab, hardened by war, kills the father of the household. Saul has instructed them to leave no survivors, fearing that any descendant could rise against him. Eliab is horrified but feels compelled to obey. In a harrowing scene, he murders the children inside the home, his face etched with guilt and inner torment. This brutal act shatters Eliab. After returning to the tabernacle, the emotional weight becomes unbearable, and he contemplates suicide. He comes close, but cannot go through with it. The guilt lingers, and it's implied that this could lead Eliab to eventually turn against Saul. David's leadership is tested. Meanwhile, David steps into his new role as the leader of a military unit, 1,000 soldiers strong. When the Philistines launch an attack on the nearby village of Geba, David is the first to respond. Lacking combat experience, he makes a rash decision to lead his troops directly into the village. While David may have hoped to play the hero, the decision backfires. Though the Philistines are repelled, the battle results in significant losses. Among the dead is Aton, a beloved figure in the unit, leading the remaining soldiers to question David's leadership. He is devastated, overwhelmed by guilt, and emotionally unravels under the pressure. Merab's unexpected support. Surprisingly, David finds solace in Merab, his politically betrothed fiancée. Although their engagement is rooted in family strategy, their bond begins to grow. Merab consoles David in his moment of breakdown, offering emotional support that he did not expect from someone he barely knows. During a vulnerable conversation, Merab explains how her life has been shaped by neglect and underestimation. Her decision to pursue David wasn't just political, it was a desperate grasp at personal agency. In a symbolic moment, the two hold hands while presenting themselves before the Israelites at the tabernacle, signaling a united front, at least in public. Michal ends her relationship with David. This evolving connection between David and Merab is not lost on Michal, Saul's younger daughter, who had previously shared a budding romantic relationship with David. Michal witnesses David being comforted by Merab and later holding her hand in front of the people. These gestures mark a turning point for her. Realizing that their love has no future, and not wanting to deepen the rift within her already divided family, Michal decides to let David go. She chooses to protect her emotional well-being and withdraws from the relationship, even though it clearly pains her. In a heartfelt conversation with Merab, Michal acknowledges her defeat but remains emotionally distant. While she accepts the political reality, she refuses to support Merab in her pursuit of David. Her decision is rational, but it's steeped in personal sorrow and the feeling of betrayal. Saul tries to reclaim Samuel's loyalty, believing that he has successfully eliminated Samuel's chosen king. Saul becomes emboldened. He attempts to reconcile with Prophet Samuel, approaching the tabernacle with a display of false humility and veiled threats. Knowing he cannot risk a public backlash by openly attacking Samuel, who is revered by the priests, Saul first speaks to Helah, Samuel's wife, hoping she will persuade her husband to return to the king's side. However, Hela is resolute, and Samuel himself rejects Saul during a ceremonial gathering. Confident that David still lives, Samuel boldly dismisses Saul's invitation and publicly severs ties with him. The priest's defiance is likely to provoke further retaliation from Saul, who is growing increasingly desperate and unstable. Adriel's real agenda. Adriel later confronts David in the crowd, revealing his plan. He admits that misleading Saul was intentional. He had considered betraying David but chose instead to protect him. His goal? To secure a future role in David's eventual reign. Adriel expects David to reward him when he becomes king, hoping to cement a place of influence in the new regime. This exchange reveals Adriel's true nature. He's not loyal to any side, but instead driven by self-interest and political survival. He sees the writing on the wall and is betting on David's success for his own gain. Jonathan and Sara, a complicated romance elsewhere. Jonathan, Saul's son, finally approaches Sara the healer with a romantic proposal. Sara rejects him, not out of disinterest but because of personal loss. Her brother had joined the military inspired by Jonathan's patriotic speeches but died in battle under Jonathan's command. Though the war was a success for Israel, Sara cannot overlook her brother's death. She holds Jonathan responsible and refuses to become involved with him. While their relationship may not be over entirely, it's clear Jonathan must prove his sincerity and leadership beyond the battlefield to earn her trust. Conclusion, fractures, and foreshadowing. Episode 4 of House of David intensifies the political and emotional complexities brewing across Israel. Saul is spiraling deeper into paranoia and tyranny, while David faces the brutal realities of leadership. The bonds between family members, lovers, and allies are tested, leaving behind trails of betrayal, regret, and broken trust. Eliab's moral collapse, Michal's sacrifice, Merab's unexpected tenderness, and Adriel's scheming all contribute to a richly layered narrative. With Saul and Samuel now in open conflict, and David slowly coming into his own, the stage is set for further confrontations, and possibly a shift in power that could define Israel's future.